So welcome back guys to We Talk Boxing, and this is my initial reaction to the fight between Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker. Now this fight was a bit of a weird mixed fight from my point of view, where I didn't really get to see the Deontay Wilder of old, but a good performance and probably a career best performance from a Joseph Parker. So hats off goes to Joseph Parker. He done really well. He obviously got the victory, and it was a well-deserved victory, to be honest. And on all three judges scored it in one way. One judge even had Josie Parker winning every single round, whereas the other two had it 118, 110, so a couple of rounds here or there for Deontay Wilder. But it was a mixed performance and a bit of a weird homecoming, or not homecoming, but a return to the ring for Deontay Wilder because I don't know, he looked old in the ring. He looked really old, and it looked as if the near enough 2 years that he's had out the ring and the one round in that time as well, that it didn't do anything for him. And the training that he said he's been doing, I don't know what sort of training he's been doing because his feet look slow. He looks very hesitant to throw his shots and to let go of his right hand at times. And he wasn't really pushing the pace. All the biggest shots in the fight came from Joseph Parker, and there was multiple occasions within the 12 rounds that Joseph Parker potentially could have stopped Deontay Wilder if he would have just put a bit more energy, a bit more, ferociousness on some of his punches. It was a good round for both guys in the eighth round. I think it was eighth. Deontay Wilder landed some good shots, and I thought, you know what, this is the Deontay Wilder round. Maybe he could probably, if he puts on the burners, he could maybe stop Joseph Parker. But then Joseph Parker came back with some big thundering shots towards the end of the round, and at one point it looked as if Deontay Wilder's legs had gone and he was out. But somehow he remained upright and managed to see himself out. Joseph Parker obviously didn't capitalise on the next round, but obviously did enough to win the rounds and dominated the fight. And from a Deontay Wilder point of view, he didn't start. How can I say? He didn't put the pressure on until it was too late, and that was in the 12th round. And you're standing there thinking, like, you've only got one shot in your armory, and you've left it this late to try and put the, to put the pressure on a guy who's won every single round, because all this guy's gonna do, he's not a stupid boxer. All this guy's gonna do, and I'm talking about Joseph Parker, is tie you up. Every time you come close and you start swinging, he's gonna hopefully make you miss and then tie you up and hold you and hug you. Let the referee stop, and that's gonna take another 20 seconds, 30 seconds away. You're gonna throw another one, you're gonna miss, I'm gonna tie you up. Referee's gonna move, split us apart again. That's another 20, 30 seconds gone. And that's all he did in the final round, Joseph Parker, pretty much. But I'll do the same. I think most people will do the same because you've won every single round up until that point. So if Josie Parker would have tried to fight fire with fire in the 12th round, he probably would have got caught and, could have got knocked out. So why risk it for a biscuit, as I normally say? But yeah, it was a good performance from Josie Parker, and the world's his oyster now. Considering, considering you're talking what, 5 fights ago when he fought, when was it, Joe Joyce? I think it was early or late 2022. Can't remember now. Josie Parker's had like 4 fights on the trot since then, and obviously all 4 wins to date. But yeah, he's a, 4 fights ago, he pretty much was down in the dumps, and most people will say, you know what, he should pretty much retire because it was a devastating knockout loss against Joe Joyce. But look what he's done. He's rebuilt himself and he's put himself now into a big opportunity for maybe a title shot. Because as I've said in previous videos, that Tyson and Usyk are going to fight. The winner takes all. Belts are going to get fragmented, and this victory against Deontay Wilder, who most would consider the third or fourth best heavyweight out there, he's beat him. and he's beat him quite comprehensively. So he's going to be pushed up in the rankings in next month's rankings when they come out. And depending on which fights get called, he could possibly be one of these guys that get a title shot. Obviously, if it's against Tyson Fury, he obviously won't take that title shot opportunity because he loves Tyson Fury. Do you know what I mean? Him and his family. So that fight, he will never end up fighting Tyson Fury. It doesn't matter how much he wants to win the title. But if Usyk or if Hergovic, if one of these guys got the belts or fight for a title and he's able to fight against them, then he will take this opportunity. Otherwise, there's other big fights out there for him. As I said, he's going to have some good rankings in next month's rankings. So potentially, you know what I mean, you've got people like Bacoli who he could maybe try and go after. You've got Daniel Dubois who come up against a quite tough, in a weird way, heavy weighted, I should say. Gerard Miller, and he come through his fight tonight, so that's an opportunity there. You got Caballero who beat Makhmudov, which most people didn't think that was going to happen. So that's another opportunity for Joseph Parker. Because if you're not going to get a title shot anytime soon, you might as well keep yourself busy with some fights like these. And if he's really flowing with confidence, he could potentially offer Joe Joyce a rematch. Do you know what I mean? Say, look, I'm on a 4-fight winning spree since, you know what I mean, I lost against you. You've lost 2 fights since you beat me. Let's go for it again. Let's, you know what I mean, when it takes all sort of things. So, you know what I mean, there's some good fights out there for him. And probably the man that most people are not really talking about at the moment is Zhilei Zhang. Could that be a fight that interests Josie Parker? A very dangerous fight, by the way. But could that be a fight? And that fight could potentially, you know what I mean, be in China. Massive, massive crowd and some good money there for Joseph Parker, or maybe in Saudi in March as well. Or could he potentially try and get some sort of deal done with Anthony Joshua because he come up against a good win tonight? And could he put his name in the hat for the March bill, because the fight between Wilder and AJ now is pretty much dead in the water. So could he step in? Yeah, there's loads of opportunities for Joseph Parker. But for Deontay Wilder, I don't know where he goes from here. As I said, he looked slow. He looked hesitant. You know what I mean? He looked very cautious to kind of throw his hands and let his hands go. So I don't know what's going on. One thing that I said in my little group is that ring rust played a big part. And, you know what I mean? He wasn't match sharp. So could, you know what I mean, going forward, could he maybe take on some lesser opposition for the next 2 or 3 fights just to build his confidence back? And once he's got some crazy knockouts against these like bums, then could he go up against some of the bigger names? Could he try and get that fight with Anthony Joshua? Could he maybe go after a rematch with Joseph Parker? Who knows? But yeah, I think from Deontay Wilder's post-fight interview, from the way it sounds as if that could have been Deontay Wilder's last boxing fight. I'd say it didn't. I wasn't. When I sat there and I was listening to it, I was like, I'm not optimistic about this guy. Don't feel as if he's gonna come back out and have another fight, because his body language and the way he was speaking, you just think, you know what, this guy's he's too content. He's too relaxed. He hasn't got that hunger. He hasn't got that drive no more. But anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts in regards to this fight between Joseph Parker and Deontay Wilder. Yeah, sensational performance. I think you guys would agree. Who would you like to see Joseph Parker fight next? Who would you like to see Deontay Wilder fight next? As always, guys, please subscribe and comment. Bless.